Hello again. Hi, I'm T Coates. Welcome back to my channel. This channel, I pretty much laid it out before. This channel is based on politics and what's currently going on. And like one of my last ones, I went over like an hour. And for those of you who watched it, I really appreciate it. I generally tend to try to lay out what's currently going on within like the past few days or where we're standing at in certain topics, or maybe I might just stick to one topic. But today I am going to talk about the wall, a little brief thing about the election, the 2016 election. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. And the government shutdown. Is the IRS closed? We'll talk more about that right now. Now, this is all unedited. I come into my bathroom, I talk like I would be talking to myself. Like, what's going on out there, world? But here we go. February 25th, 2016. Remember we were talking about prior when we were saying, like, did the Mexican president come out and say, no, I'm not going to build you a wall? I mean, I said this a few days before they started putting it on the news and stuff like that, because I was literally like, well, did he say that he was going to, do some research? Did he say he was going to pay for the wall? Why would he pay for the wall? You know what I'm saying? It's questions like that. Now, February 25th, 2016, the president came out of Mexico and said, we're not paying for this wall. But Trump, he really kept telling everyone, which I also say is, this isn't, neither here nor there against or for Trump or anything like that. This is just me laying out the facts. They said that they weren't going to pay for the wall. So you can't force somebody to do something of their own country. So I don't know why people were sticking to who's going to pay for the wall in Mexico, because there was literally almost zero chance that was ever going to happen. Again, on January 26, 2017, it was said, we're not paying for it. We're not fucking paying for your wall. And that's pretty much what they said again. And the question is, like, why would they pay? Like I said, I'm not going to build you a wall to protect you from me or my side. Now, but what did I also say? I said he's going to try to make us pay for it. Now, today they're saying that Trump, is talking about American taxpayers paying it. Now, like I said before, if there's 156 million working Americans in America, if everybody put $20 over the course of a year, and the government took $20 from us, like $1.30 or $1.40, something like small like that over the course of the year, it would all actually technically add up to like $3.5 billion, fluctuating, of course, if the unemployment rate goes up and down. I kept saying, I was like, he's going to make us pay for it. I kept saying it. I said, he's going to make us pay for it. Now, I said that before. And now he's on TV saying that he's going to make us pay for it. Now they're saying the USMCA deal was just a portion. They'll pay for a portion. Because he kept saying before, even Sarah Huckabee, she's getting like tongue-tied and twisted on there, like because she knows it's bullshit. Even she's starting to see that it's completely BS. First he's saying Mexico's going to pay for it. And they were always saying, we're not going to pay for this. Now he's saying the USMCA deal is going to, a portion of that or all of it. It's going to be more than enough. Now that he's backing down off of that notion, now it's going to the taxpayers. Now, he said Mexico will pay for it. And I said before, that was never going to happen. That wasn't even an option. But, like, who's paying for it? Us. We are. We're going to pay for it. Now, watching the previous ones, I told you all that before he said that we were all going to pay it, and, he was going on there and he was just like, no, he was saying we weren't going to pay it. Americans not going to pay it. USMCA deal is going to pay it, or Mexico's going to pay it. And now we've realized that was never going to happen, because now, okay, there are 400,000 people who are not currently working or getting paid for months, maybe. Now you're hearing on the news that a lot of them are protesting. They're not coming to work, and they're just kind of like, you know what? I have to feed my family. So this shutdown is all well and good, but how am I supposed to make a living? How am I supposed to live? You know, so a lot of them, some people are leaving, you know, federal jobs, good jobs. People are leaving because they have to make ends meet. And I was saying it before that Democrats are going to cave before Republicans do, only for the simple fact that Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have, you know, they have their own constituents. They have people coming up to them like, you know, before I was saying, you know, listen, you know, I have to pay this, my people need this. And so eventually, like I said, you cannot negotiate from a low standpoint. He started off high. He said, government shutdown, give me what I want. And we basically said, no. So everybody was under the misconception that, you know, he'll just eventually, you know, say this or say that, or it'll just jump back. And I'm like, that's not, you're dealing with Donald Trump. He'll keep it closed. And I said before, months, weeks. No, he knows he has a limited amount of time to have the wall funding, to get the wall completed, to get it done. So he's pushing for it now. And if they don't get it, it's going to stay closed. Now, just listen to what I have to say. It's really funny. It's not funny. It's actually really sad. And I said before, I said he'll keep it closed till he's damn near out the White House, because he knows he doesn't have, you know, 4 more years. He knows he doesn't have 6 years left. He knows he has only 2 years left. He knows he only has 2 years left. They crunched the numbers. They know he only has 2 years left. So he needs his money right now to get that wall done before his presidency ends. So that's why now he's like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get this much money from this much money from that. And Sarah Huckabee's up there, and she's all like stammering and everything, because now they're saying, you know, various places. What places? What various other places is going to give you $5 billion or $6 billion? Please let me know, because it's not making any sense. See, they want to try to, before they were saying this is going to do it, that's going to do it. Now they want to rely on the American people. We're going to do it. Or they're going to say, we're going to get some from here, some from here, some from there. Now, I want to point something out. Retroactive pay for the federal job, for the federal employees. Now, if each federal employee, let's just say, give a basic number, if each federal employee currently out, makes $75,000 a year. Now times that by 400,000 people. 400,000 people out of work, because they're either going to retro pay them for however long they're out. But what about that money? See, you got to ask certain questions. What about that money? Because if they don't pay them for a year, or they try to take their retroactive pay for a year, let's say they're out for a year, that's $30 billion. That's $75,000 times 400,000 people. That's $30 billion. That's more than enough. Isn't it kind of funny that this is all happening around tax time? And he's trying to implement certain things. You know, like, pay attention. He's trying to implement certain things, trying to get the money. Oh, we can get the money from the people. It's happening around tax time. The IRS is closed, but I guarantee you that'll be the first place that's opened back up. I guarantee you that'll be the first place that opens back up. And then, yeah, go ahead and file. And you'll notice that it's $20 short for every working American who's getting money back. Or they'll just take it from the government. Because they'll say, oh, we need this for the wall fund. Don't worry, you'll get it back at the end of next year. Watch what I'm saying. They're going to end up trying to take it from us. Yeah, they're closed now, but it's tax time. The government needs that money. So they're going to open back up. Yeah, they're going to open back up, and they're going to take that $20 I was talking about from everybody that's working. That's 2-point-something billion. If 156 million people are working and they all file, which, you know, that's not going to happen. But even if you, minus 90 million people that don't file or for whatever reason, that's still like $2.75 billion if they take $20 from each person. And I was saying that before. I said they're going to end up finding a way to take it from us. Plus, they're going to say, oh, we got $1 billion from this deal, so we only need, if it's going to be $3. if it's going to be 6. They're not even sure on the number that they need. You see what I'm saying? They're like 6 billion. Then they 3 billion. And then the reporters keep asking the same questions. Is it going to be 3 billion? Is it going to be 5 billion? What is the exact number? They have the exact number. They're not telling us, which they should, because we're the American people. They should tell us. The reporters are asking questions based on what America wants to know. Is it 6 billion? Is it 3 billion? Is it 3.5 billion? Is it $5 billion? What's the number? What's the number? But they're not actually saying that there's 6 billion. 6 billion, that's a very high number to build a damn wall. I think but see, now they're like, oh, we're replacing the slacks because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to replace pieces and fix pieces than to have new pieces brung in to build this. So now they're like, they're going on the cheap end now. They're just replacing this piece and they're replacing that piece and they're fixing on this. Because right now they don't have the money to really be like, we're building all this. They can say whatever they want, but pictures will show that there's not miles and miles and miles of stuff being built. So in that and of itself is a actual lie. And Sarah Huckabee's up there like, well, he said various places. Like, we're looking up various other options. Before nobody's gonna give them $6 billion. That various other options shit is a lie. We're gonna be paying for it. Now, before I said, was I for or against it? I think we need it, but I think he's going about it the wrong way. I think he could have did a push a year ago or something like that and said, listen, we're going to start needing money for this, so we're going to start doing this. But you don't wait up until the deadline of saying, well, if we don't start this construction on this is what's going to happen. And then you just want to flat out do a government shutdown. That's not how you do business. That's not how you treat people. But like I said, he's thinking everything in a terms of monetary. He thinks that his presidency is going to be based on the money he saved America, not I saved us this, or I produced jobs and made work for the American people. But he's not thinking about it in terms of what he's losing. I'm going to say, like, literally, like, as an individual, you don't treat people that way. You don't treat your country that way. You don't make, and even while the government shut down, okay, even while it's shut down, he's still making deals. Don't get it twisted. He's still making deals. He ain't doing nothing for us currently, but they're still making deals because he's doing this because, like I said, he's only got 2 years left. He doesn't have 6 years. So he's making deals, personal deals. He's making deals, for the government. I mean, for not so much, look at my sweater, not so much for not so much for for us, but for himself. He's out there making deals, like, when I get out of prison, that we're going to be doing this business deal and this business deal. And like I said, when he interviews from prison, he's not going to be, like I said before, they're not going to be able to impeach him because of how he's got so many, my neck looks shiny there, like how he has so many front runners and stuff, people in front of him talking for it. He'll get out there and say a little da, and then they're scrambling to try to figure out what's going on. But it's not, he could simply go in there, I didn't say this, or I said this, or we tried to do this, but they didn't give us the funding for it. So what do you want me to do? Like, you cannot use that as an excuse to really, like, mess people's lives up like this. You know what I mean? And he, like I said before, he's thinking of it monetarily, like that's going to be his legacy, that he made American money, but at what cost? At what cost has he done that? Now, like I said, it's cheaper to fix the wall with viable pieces that are already there versus trying to build and make new pieces. So like if he's trying to do it like that now because he knows he has to keep looking like he's still working on it. He's got to get money. We're fixing this and I don't care if it's slacks, wall, whatever. He's fixing it. He's fixing parts of it. He's not actually like, he's replacing this and replacing that and trying to fix it. But what he really is, he's trying to get money so he can actually start the project, and then now they're saying, like, did he lie to us? Yes. He lied about Mexico because they were never going to pay for it. That was never going to happen again. That was never going to happen. So he lied to us to get in the White House to do that. Yes. But people, politicians, they say whatever they have to. They say whatever they must to get to where they want to have, what they want to achieve. We fell for it. There was no way the Mexican government the Mexican president said, we're not paying for this wall. And the president of the United States said, we're not going to do this. And then another country's, a candidate's like, yeah, they're going to do this. Then he gets in the White House like, we said it before. That was never going to happen. Now, I mean, it's strategy. It's what it all boils down, to strategy. They get in the White House and say, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And then the reality sets in of the day-to-day life and things that they actually have to take care of. And they waited too long to do this. I think that they were going to always probably have a government shutdown if we said, we as the people, as a conglomerate of Republicans and Democrats, and liberals and everybody else is literally said, no, we're not going to give you the money for this. And when everybody said, but see, when he went in office, people were for him. His own people were for him. Republicans were saying, yeah, we'll give you the money for the wall. And Republicans are still saying that, but not all of them are saying it anymore. They're saying like because now they're like, okay, that's going to come from us. Maybe not them because they make a certain amount, but it damn sure is going to be coming from people in middle class and lower class. You got $20 for this wall is going to be taken out as W fund, $1.30 something a paycheck for the next year. I'll tell you, that's 3-point-something billion, but them, they want more money, so it'll probably be $40 for the year or something like that. Based on who's working it. Now, like I said before, this generation will end up paying for it. I believe we need it. I just think that he's going about it the wrong way. And if once he gets the construction started on it, or once he gets the money to go for it, yeah, he's going to make sure even when his presidency ends, if they're still building that wall, that money's going to be going towards to finish that. You bet your ass that's going to be happening. Now, first, the USMCA deal was what was supposed to be like. It was supposed to be Mexico. Then it was supposed to be the USMCA deal. It was supposed to be almost like a joint thing between Mexico and the deal. Now they're saying like the deal. He's saying it's going to be more than enough. But like I said before, what if it's not? What if it's only $2.75 billion? And that's in a long sense of the word, because who's just going to say, okay, we're going to make this deal, here's the money, or this is what we're doing. That takes time. A deal takes time. Paperwork takes time. And like I said before, it wasn't even approved by Congress. Now they're saying on the news, the reporters are saying it's not even approved by Congress, because it's not. It hasn't. So you can shake as many hands as you want to on the camera. And you can sign it, and Trudeau, like I said before, he's being shafted both ways. He's got to do this now. He's signing on a deal, but there's no way in hell that money is going to produce money that fast enough to try to build a $5 billion wall. It's just not going to happen. It's like, are they being realistic? Are people listening to what they're saying? Because you're trying to say like the money's going to produce at such a fast rate that it's going to actually be able to pay for the wall. Unless somebody's literally saying, okay, here's $5 billion for this, here's $4 billion, here's $3 billion for this, here's $5 billion for this. Unless, and I'm going to say this again, unless the deal produces a certain amount of money, but it's not. Because why would they be asking us? See, that's what I'm getting at. It's like, it's like, why would they be asking us? Why? Because if the deal isn't going to pay for it, because they said it's going to be more than enough, so why are you asking taxpayers? If it's going to be more than enough, then why are you asking us for it? You see what I'm saying? It's not going to be more than enough, because like I said, money to make money takes time that Trump doesn't have. So now he's resorting, I did this, well, that's not really gonna, okay, now y'all gonna pay for it. But if this was gonna pay for it, if it's gonna pay for it, now before they said, now listen to what they're saying. Before they're saying that the USMCA deal is going to be more than enough. Or more than enough. Now they're backing down from that. Where are they going with everything? More various other options. Because they know damn well Trudeau and the Mexican, that shit ain't going to make money like that as fast as he need it. So now they're various other stuff, the American people in this deal. That's not how life works. That's not how reality, works. Now they're saying now it's the USMCA deal. Now it's various other options. Now it's us. When it boils down to it, he might get $1 billion from that, but then and he might get $1 billion. He has to get this pushed in, or it's just gonna go away. So he's saying, okay, well, and like I said, the Democrats are going to break before the Republicans do, only for the simple fact that all this time that's going to, he's trying to wait us out. So he's trying, and I say us again, as if I was a Democrat. I'm saying us again as if I was a Republican. He's trying to wait us out. That's all this is. It's a waiting game. He's trying to wait and wait till they finally say, fine, we'll give you the money. Get these people back to work. Get this back on. Get this back started. And whoever drops the pen loses. That's all that's going to be. Now he's saying, like I said, it's tax time. I mean, the government shutdown couldn't have came at a better time for the Trump administration. Because now it's tax time. My money. IRS. They closed. But they still say, still try and get your tax stuff done. Why? Ain't nobody going to be down there. If I was the American people and I didn't have to file my taxes, I wouldn't file them motherfuckers this year. They ain't getting no money from me. It's coming out at a time, I'm telling you. You mark my words. It's coming at a really strange time, because now it's more like it's tax time. If I file every 3 years, and y'all make a certain amount that I probably end up owing $1,000 after 3 years. So a lot of people just, people who make, 35,000 and up, or 42,000, 50,000, and they're just one person, and, they're claiming 1 or 6 or 7 or something like that, because they know they take so much in taxes that they might as well, every 3 years I have to pay $1,000, something like that. So, did I just fuck myself? I don't know. But like I said, I wouldn't file this year. I'm not going to file this year, because this seems like some kind of bullshit, really. That it's tax time. So everybody's worrying about filing their taxes. They're worried about getting their money back and everything like that. So they wouldn't really care if they took $20. If you think about it, I'm getting $1,200. Take that $20. Take that $40. That's not how the institution is supposed to work. And you mark my words, they're going to be trying to take it out. They're going to be trying to take it out of people's taxes. And they're going to suddenly implement this decree, because he's acting like he's a king. They're going to suddenly implement this decree where they're going to take it out of the taxes. It's either going to be taken out of the taxes, or they're just going to plain on just say, in 3 months we're going to take it. But I doubt they have 6 months to make that decision. So it's gonna be happening pretty quickly. It's all gonna be around this tax season. That is messed up. It really is. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and file. Go ahead and file. If something doesn't seem amiss, you can't really tell, they're hoping that you can't tell. And then when it happened, it's like, oh, Trump went and took, $20 out of my taxes. I don't care, but you should, because the USMCA deal is not going to produce money fast enough to build his wall in time. It's just not going to. It's not going to produce $6 billion in the next 2 or 3 months. No. So they know that. You know what I mean? I wish he had somebody like me on the joint, because I'm like, yeah, they know that. Yeah, that's not going to happen. You got to tell these people what's going on. But see, nobody won't say anything to the man. So, like I said, the reporter was saying, like, that money for the USMCA deal, like I said in the previous one, that money doesn't go to building your wall. That money goes to the private citizens and companies, etc. That money doesn't. But like I said before, he doesn't understand that concept. So his only thing is, I need money for my wall. You better understand that. You better get that, make that concrete. Number one, he's going to get that money. Whether he's going to get it from us or he's going to get it from the USMCA deal in conjunction with other various other options, he's going to do that. I don't know. I mean, pay attention, America. He's talking about before, he gets in there, and it's not even so much, because Pontius is going to say what he has to say to get to where he needs to be. He's going to say what he has to say to get into the White House. But we have to be smart enough to just, not him and being a Republican or him and being a Democrat, but we got to be smart enough to be able to smell what the hell is going on. Because he's saying one thing and he's doing another. In certain aspects, he's keeping his word, yeah. And in others, the things that we really, need to look at, and like I said, that USMCA deal, the way he's going, that's not even going to get signed. It's not even going to, Congress probably won't even pass that. Because there's too many other categories in there that aren't quite kosher. Not even so much the steel and aluminum and da-da-da-da, but look at other stuff. The time of pharmaceutical drugs, the time, look at the other thing. There's this little thing in there about pharmaceutical drugs and the amount of time I can make this drug right here, right? I can make this drug, and there's a generic version that comes out for cheaper copays for people who can't really afford this, $20 a pill. And your doctor convinces you that you need that. So he's extended the amount of time it takes from making it to you can make the generic version. Like I said, America, pay attention. Because he is throwing it out there. You just got to read it. You just got to read up on it. And you'd be like, wait a minute. I don't agree with this, or I don't, and that's what they, and like I said, once they sit down and start reading that USMCA deal, it's going to, and he's extended the time between those two. It's like, it's a few things in there. And once people start really reading that, that's not going to get passed. That, the NAFTA was the worst thing that ever happened. And now that may be, but this one ain't no damn better either. Come on now, this one ain't no damn better either. Certain ones in there help certain people, certain things, but it as a whole is not a better deal. It's pretty much the same. It may be a hair better in certain areas, but a lot of areas might actually be worse. It's up like this and then it's down like this. It's still somewhere in the middle. It's not, it's not really making sense to me. So I'm almost done. I'm not going past really by about past 30. So, it's some things that I'm going to touch on at another episode of me ranting. Not so much ranting, but just kind of letting people be aware of what happens. Because if you don't, like I said before, the government can come in and slip things in, and you won't know until you look at your paycheck. You won't know until you see it on the, wait, what are they doing? It was passed. How did I not know that? You don't ever let somebody just come out and tell you what they're going to do with your money. Now, I'm not talking about the state saying, okay, FICA and stuff like that on your paycheck. I'm talking about we don't agree with this wall fund right now. Some people do, some people don't. And we say no. And he's basically saying, I'm going to take it anyway. Or the majority of everyone is saying no. And it's like, I'm still going to take it. Not for or against, but just you don't let people dictate to you what they're going to do with your stuff. You just don't do it. And that's why we have government, so we can, talk no, that's not going to happen. Well, if he don't, he might not open up the government again. See, he loves having people by the short and curlies. If we, like I said, he's starting from a high standpoint. And if they don't break, which they're probably going to, you look at 6 months down the line or a year down the line, because if he don't get it to build the wall, he's just gonna keep it shut. Like I said, they're gonna be trying to impeach his ass. He's still gonna be trying to keep it shut. And I said before, the likelihood of him being impeached is not going to happen, only for the simple fact that he's got so many people in front of him saying, like I said before, Rudy Giuliani, I said this emphatically. Oh, did I say that? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say this. And he's using the idiocy. His people are using that idiotic. I'm just going to refer you to the Homeland Security. I'm just going to refer you. Why don't you refer me to the president? Let him come out here and answer some of these goddamn questions, Sarah. Like this shit. And he comes out there and he gives these really vague answers. Like I could have said some shit. Well, I don't really, it's going to make a lot of money for us. And I believe that after this deal is done, it's going to be the biggest deal in history. And that's just surface shit. He's not going into anything, and he's not going to. I'm sure they teach you that in business school. Like he's not really saying anything. And he's not being really held accountable. The reporters are trying, but he needs to be like held accountable for what he's doing. And I'm not saying it like he's, I'm not saying it like he's this or he's that. I'm just saying like when a president says something, you should hold any president accountable for what they're saying. You have to. Okay, so last little note, 2016 election. You know how everybody always asks him that same question, like you know what? I'm just gonna people are scared to ask the question just flat out. Just flat out ask the question, did you have Putin, rig the 2016 election in your favor? And what will he say? He'll say, no. No, I didn't. That happened under Obama's watch, and we're trying to do all we can, so that never happens again. Do you know what sense that makes? Think about what actual sense that makes when someone says something like that. And I'm going to do this, and I quote, no, and it happened under Obama. That was the most, seriously, that was the most dumbest response to that question I can actually think of. Think about it this way. It's Obama's fault they broke in and sabotaged the election in my favor. Think about that. That was pretty much what he said. That made, and I was sitting there like people don't really want to talk about it anymore. But if you think about it, it's like he keeps saying stuff like that happened over on Obama's thing. But it was rigged in your in your favor. Like McDonald's Fanta. I only drink orange. Nothing red, only dry. Hashtag no straws. That happened. Sorry, I was sorry. That happened under Obama. And I'm like, that's not a proper response to the question. The question is, did he help you rig it for the 2016 election? And his answer should have been like, no, he didn't. And I know a lot of people think because I won and we have business, people think it's going to be me, but I didn't do it. But he didn't say that. He just said, no, that happened under Obama, and we're trying to help with the security so it never happens again. It's going to happen again. Because if he becomes president again, when 90% of the country don't want him to be, it's going to be some shit. So he ain't got 6 years left. He know he's only got 2 years left. So to answer a question like that with, saying, oh no, it's Obama's fault. Like, it's Obama's fault that they broke in and sabotaged the election in your favor. Yeah, and his security should have been better. like shit, man. I mean, like, that's rich. That's that's rich. Okay. Meanwhile, he's out there making deals while the government's shut down. He's out there making deals left and right. And like I said before, can somebody say, listen, the government's shut down and you're trying to make deals. Why don't you focus on your presidency? But like I said before, it's all about him and what he wants and his legacy, as far as I did this and I did this and I got the wall done and everything. And I just want to say, please watch my immigration session ending Trump. See it all. It actually says, everything I said. It's kind of long, but it's like 45 minutes. And then just see it. There's another one on there that's ending Trump. It's like 22 minutes or 17 minutes or something like that. I think it's a good listen as to what I was saying. And then the next day they were like, and then Di got on there and was like, government shutdown. There's no end in sight. And I was like, I literally just said that yesterday or the day before that. Like, it was really funny. Like, I was like, he's not going to open it back up. He's either going to get what he wants or it's going to remain closed. Oh, if he gets what he wants, will he open it back up? Yeah. If you give him what he wants and it's too late, he might still open it back up if he can still get the money to go towards the wall even after he's out of his presidency. Yeah, he'll open it back up. But if they don't give him his money, he's not going to open that back up out of spite. Like I said, in order to understand, the president, you got to understand the man. He's not, you're going to give him, he's treating it like a business. And the United States is not a business. It's people. And I believe that he's hurting the people by doing this government shutdown. But like I said, it's still too early in the game. They still getting their checks and stuff like that. Like, it's been closed, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They still getting their checks from work. They still got to pay them. They're, you got to work 2 weeks in a hole or a month in a hole. So they're still going to get their paychecks for like the shit's really going to hit the fan within the next 4 weeks. Because people really going to be like, I got to pay for this and I got to pay for that. And some people might have money saved, 5-6 months down. Like, it's really like people like, I'm not coming to work as a show of a stand, but they ain't coming to work because they're not getting paid. Who the hell wants to work and they're not getting paid? A week or 2 weeks, then they think, okay, retroactive pay. You never know if you're going to get that. You would assume that because they're government workers and they're working for the federal government, or like I work for the state, you would assume that they would get money, but it might be 2 years down the line. Shoot, we got retroactive pay. I work for the state of New York. We just got retroactive pay. I think like 8 months ago for 2015, and it's 2019. Like, they paid us all from 2015 all the way up to 20, because they were supposed to get raises and we didn't get the raises. So like they paid us, this was like 2 years later. So just because people think that they're going to get, you will get your retroactive pay, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get a $75,000 lump sum paycheck right then. That's the chance of that happening. That's not going to happen. They might, pay you a little extra in your paycheck once you start working and bring home a paycheck, and they might start paying you like that. Or they might hit you up with a lump in like 2 years. And this right here is definitely going to teach people how to start saving their money, because you never know what's going to happen. People think of a government shutdown as a week or 2 weeks or something like that. But when you start thinking about it in a long-term stretch of a year or 6 months, don't give him that. Say no. Say no, Democrats. Say no, everybody. And watch him not open it back up. This is for years. He will be out of the presidency, and the new president will have to come and open the government back up. Don't get that man what he wants and see what happens. Like, and that's a shame that he can use that and that he can do that, because that's not hurting anybody but the American people. So that's all I pretty much have to say on that. Okay, this is the end. Do I have any final words of wisdom? I'm going to say this. all that's going on, and he's still unapologetically making decisions for us that are not in our best interest. He's still getting what he wants. It's all still happening around him, even while the government shutdown is happening. And like I said, Donald Trump is fine. Donald Trump has money, millionaire or a billionaire. He never knows, because we can't dig into his finances. He could be a millionaire, he could be a billionaire, but nobody actually really knows, because that's how secretive he is. And he's also secretive with his presidency just as much. Everybody's being pushed to the side. Everybody's not answering. No one's answering the real tough questions, and they're giving reporters and people blurred answers and idiotic responses to serious questions that are asked. And if the American people wants to still deal with that and take that, you know what I mean? Like, and I give it to the reporters, because reporters are going out there trying to say, listen, you're going to be held accountable. We're going to make you answer, or try to answer but they'll ask the same question 7-8 times, and they'll get the same exact response, which is blurred. And that is not how, a presidency should be run. It should be run with real answers, because you're answering to the American people. And if you can't answer the question, then find me someone who can. And like I said,